Brush the hair, brush the hair, brush the hair. Oh, that's fine.
No, it is not. Now, Tics and Roses is really a individual that we have just never actually covered properly on this channel from start to finish, talking about all the atrocities that she did. Now, there's other things I also want to add on this video as well, because I feel like so many people have covered this topic that if I'm just going to talk about the exact same things, it would be kind of boring. I'd also like to mention as well, this is coming from someone that also has head tics, so maybe that might be a different inside perspective for you guys to see on how I react to. I also want to mention as well later on in the video that we talk about the real dire consequences that happen as a result of someone faking something like Tourette's. A lot of people claim that fake claiming is disgusting and it should never be done, but when someone is so blatantly, obviously lying on the internet for attention and sympathy and for straight up scamming people, that's right, Tics and Roses here actually sold merch, which I find inherently wrong and definitely a bit strange to be using a mental illness or anything like that for profit gain. Seems a little bit odd. But before we get into any of that, today's comment shout out, honestly, it's really just the funnest part of this video. Today's comment shout out goes to MXOXO11. Thank you for the comment. If you guys want to win a shout out in the next video, make sure to leave a comment down below saying, "Ablaze, I smashed the bell button," and I'll pick one of you for a shout out in the next video. So starting off at the very beginning, Tics and Roses used to make content in which she used to head tick and also have vocal tics as well, while doing very ordinary things, such as her being in the kitchen cooking stuff, also reacting to her own tics, talking about how she tics and some of her more common tics that she does on a day-to-day basis.
For example, I went to the grocery store and they said hello to the same child like 30 times in a row. Just like, hello, 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 hello. Hello.
Also videos in which she made TikToks as she would tick packaging stuff for her second business, but that second business would really play out to just be her downfall as a bunch of videos resurfaced, as we'll talk about later on. On top of all of those things, she made TikToks reacting to the comments, who were already at the early stages calling out her certain behavior, because apparently already at this point, a lot of her tics didn't really seem natural. Now again, coming from someone that has head tics and face tics, I gotta say, certain tics in which Tics and Roses did just didn't make any sense. A lot of them would really be stretched out. Like, for example, putting a bag on your head and then saying something like, "Ship me to Canada."
Send me to Canada.
Just doesn't seem very legit. You can almost tell as well, because a lot of these people will start to tense up their face before they actually do the tick. As for me, it just happens involuntarily. And I have no control. I don't think about it. It just kind of happens. And you can almost see her really trying to think about this before actually doing certain ticks in the first place, which is a sign of somebody faking. Now, talking about the business that she had with one of her friends, that she used to sell certain products, she used to do these big, long, either podcast videos or these big live streams over on Facebook. Now, a lot of people found this and noticed something from all of that. The fact that, well, Tics and Roses did not tick. All of a sudden, she just turned into Roses. Like, she just did not tick at all. Now, I've talked about in the past, again, how I can go weeks without doing a head tick. Sure, absolutely. But it does seem very convenient that on a very short TikTok, she ticks within the span of 10 seconds. But then you put her in front of a camera where she does a live stream for over an hour, sometimes discussing her products and some of the stuff that she sells with her friend, and she doesn't tick at all. Something clearly already wasn't adding up with Tics and Roses. This is when Tics and Roses decided to actually address the rumors of her faking her Tourette's.
Hi, this is Emerald with Stardust Fiber Studio. I am one of the owners. I also do awareness videos for Tourette's on TikTok. There has been some not so nice people going around saying some very negative things.
Notice how she is already playing the victim, and on top of that, not 10 seconds in, but she has already had a tick. Now remember, with her Stardust Fiber Studio company, she has never ticked before in any of those long videos that I had previously just mentioned. But yet, here we go, straight back on TikTok again with a rather short video, and she is ticking straight away for attention.
And making some very negative allegations. This has unfortunately spread over into the business side of things and has spread over into our Instagram, our Facebook, and into the Facebooks and Instagrams of other people that we work with. I'm here to make a statement just saying that all of these allegations are false, and while there is nothing we can do about them, we are aware of them and doing our best to block people as they come up, and yeah, thank you.
Now, in my humble opinion, a rather terrible response, considering that she doesn't really offer any proof. Now, I know also a lot of people would probably come under the assumption of, why would she have to provide any proof in her videos? She doesn't have to. I feel like if you make a TikTok or a YouTube channel and you dedicate your whole personality to you having Tourette's, and like she stated earlier, likes to talk about awareness with Tourette's, I feel like it's pretty vital, if that's your whole business motto, that you do provide proof. Now, she did provide proof later on, which turned out to be complete BS. We'll talk about that in a second, but apparently a lot of people weren't happy with this getting called out business, with some of the people blindly following her, making videos supporting Tics and Roses. This is again something that we talk about on my channel, where it just doesn't line up with certain individuals telling me to leave other people alone, that I shouldn't call them out for their behavior. This obviously certainly has not aged very well, considering now all the evidence has now come out with Tics and Roses, but we'll see this guy later on in the video as well. But for right now, this is what he had to say.
It's come to my attention that one of my very dear friends, Emerald, at Tics and Roses, is getting accused of faking Tourette's for clout, and he's even gotten threats of death and swatting because of it. And to all those who are doing these things, I would like to say that I am sorry that your life has gotten to the point where the only way that you can feel fulfilled is by harassing another person. And I hope that one day you're able to find something positive and productive to do that will help you heal. And I hope that sometime in your life, before the end, you're able to find someone who truly loves you.
Now, why can't completely turn a blind eye and just say, I don't understand people that make videos like this? I kind of do, to a certain extent. I feel like anytime someone on the internet decides to lie about this, it's almost as if we don't really want to believe it, because why would someone lie about this? A lot of the videos that I create on my channel where people do lie about the most awful things, the type of things that you just absolutely shouldn't lie about. You really have to be quite a low person and quite the scumbag to lie about any of these things. So while I don't agree with what these people say about you should never fake claim someone on the internet, it's dangerous, I do at least see where they are somewhat coming from. What does kind of amaze me though is this person made videos after the fact of them being called out. I guess just either one, they're trolling, or two, they're completely in denial. Like, they couldn't possibly be wrong. And that is after such great evidence came out, such as this, where Tics and Rose's sister came out and said this, introducing myself and the truth.
Hi everyone. I recently found out about everything going on. I wanted to clear up some misconceptions and share my part. I am Emerald's sister and we grew up together. Although we were raised non-denominational Christian, my mother, who is an amazing woman, and I have always been supportive of Emerald and miss them dearly. We have always accepted them. They cut communication with us. We have tried to reach out, but they no longer wish to have contact with us and we haven't talked in years. I'm just commenting in hopes of clearing up misinformation. Also, my grandpa does have Huntington's. It's late onset, which means it doesn't show up until late in life. My grandpa is currently suffering from the side effects and is not doing well. It's very sad. My mother has it too, but is not yet showing symptoms, thankfully, and I have not been tested. Lastly, I don't believe Emerald has Tourette's syndrome and they never showed any symptoms as a child. They are mentally ill though. I love my sister. Always will, and I wish them the best, but I don't agree with what they have done. It's incredibly disrespectful to fake a mental illness for any reason. I am extending my sincerest apology to everyone their actions have hurt, although I know it is not my apology to give. I do wish for Emerald's safety. All I ask is respect and privacy for my parents and grandparents. And if you don't believe me, I'm happy to answer any questions you all may have, as long as they're not disrespectful.
Now, the one thing we don't think she at least didn't lie about was her having Huntington's. At least, it was at least in the family. Now, Tics and Roses made this video talking about the whole situation in which she states and tells people her experience with Huntington's.
But rather helps me live every day with intent, because you never truly know what the future holds. Making the time I have meaning is what matters to me. I still fear for my loved ones and the effect that my decline will someday have on them. But I am choosing not to let this disease have me before it's time. I am choosing to live. So yes, I have Huntington's disease. But Huntington's disease doesn't have me. Thank you.
Like the comment says, Ayo, Tics and Roses, this you? Where are your tics? Also, doesn't Huntington's disease come with slurred words? Question mark. Like I said, Huntington's can really last in the body until later on in life. So yes, she may be a carrier, and in some ways, I guess playing up to it a little bit. It's hard to deny, I guess, when someone has been lying about something, to say that it's too much of a leap that they would play into something like this. I don't think it is. With that all being said, her mum actually came onto Reddit and made a statement as well, talking about the whole situation with Tics and Roses, saying this on Reddit.
I am Emerald's mother. I'm sure many of you won't believe me or will demand proof, but the truth remains that they are my daughter. I have debated saying anything and getting caught in this chaos that I've been witnessing for the past couple of months, but appreciate that you are having this conversation about how to approach these situations in the future. I appreciate that you are willing to identify lessons learned, things that could possibly be handled a little differently next time. The thing that stood out to me about this post is how happy you pressured to get the family to come forward and clarify. You have no idea how difficult it was for Emerald's sister to speak up. Understand that when you see someone on the internet, you see a piece and a fragment of their life. You don't have all the pieces. Emerald cut us out of their life nearly 5 years ago, about the time they received their positive Huntington's results and when they met the group of people they're currently with. And no, it wasn't because we were staunch Baptists. I've never been to a Baptist church. For their sister to come forward and say anything was terribly hard because she knew it would drive a deeper wedge between us. A broken relationship that we desperately want back is now further from our grasp. Regardless of any of the facts, Emerald has a family and they're deeply loved. Emerald could do nothing in my eyes that would make me love them less. But my heart hurts for them. My heart hurts for the very obvious mental illness that I can't even help them through. So coming from the viewpoint of a family member of the accused, I just have some hopefully constructive feedback. 1. Keep in mind that pressuring family to come forward is perhaps good for your cause, but could be detrimental to the family. I was appalled to find my father's, Emerald's grandfather's, Facebook post shared. I read comments that you guys dug through my social media accounts, their sisters, my parents, and this made me want to delete all of mine. To be dragged into this where we don't even talk to Emerald anymore just opened old wounds. So understand you may be counting it as a win for you guys, who are complete strangers, but could be causing pain to others by dragging the family into it. 2. Understand that a person who does fake an illness obviously has a mental illness. They're a human being, and while that doesn't excuse their behavior, they're still sick, just with something different. 3. If you are truly trying to do good by calling someone out, do so in a more respectable manner. The vile name-calling I've witnessed doesn't help your cause and actually kept me from saying anything. Granted, the other Reddit page was worse, but this page has 2 bordered on hate page. I asked myself, why would I want to say anything to these hateful people who don't even know us? Had you just kept yourselves respectable as truly concerned citizens, maybe I would have said something, but felt I didn't owe anything to the people with pitchforks and torches on a witch hunt after someone who, regardless of it all, is still my child. 4. Understand that without proof, not everything is a lie. The Huntington's is valid. I watched my grandmother deteriorate before my eyes. When my father started showing symptoms, I decided to get tested and it was a positive. If a parent is positive, their children have a 50-50 chance of inheriting it as well. Emerald got tested without showing symptoms because I'm positive. This is a hard choice to make, but some people decide to get tested so they can decide if they should have children or not, etc. Huntington's is sometimes considered a suicide disease, as it has a high suicide rate because there's no cure and the death is long and mortifying. I saw Reddit pages specific to calling Emerald out on the HD diagnosis, and again was horrified with the comments I read, knowing that this is a true diagnosis, one that will kill me and eventually kill Emerald. HD has destroyed our family, and to see the horrendous comments was very difficult for me. I understand the boy who cried wolf and why there was doubt, but you had no proof of the Huntingtons. None at all, so blatantly saying they were lying about that as well without proof does nothing to your cause. Understand this. We have had no contact with Emerald for almost 5 years. And this breaks my heart every single day. Emerald's sister and I have no idea of any new medical conditions that they have been diagnosed with the past 5 years. We can only speak to the Emerald we knew before that. If you suspect someone's faking a disorder in the future, I think it could be handled with much more tact and a lot less hate.
Now, after all of that, you would think that she would at least take a step back or completely disappear off the face of the earth after being called out. I'm just saying, it's not really a good sign when your own sister and your own mother call you out on your own BS. Not really a good sign at all. That being said, she made this video doubling down, talking about her Tourette's once again and the awareness that she thinks that she is doing at this point, when all she's really doing is making people that actually have Tourette's now go out in public and feel embarrassed, because we know when people look at us for it, there's got to be a few people thinking that we are now probably faking, thanks to people like this. And that kind of sucks.
Hey y'all, it is the first Teal Tuesday of Tourette Awareness Month, and I wanted to do something a little different than normal. So I know you've all probably seen the chaos happening on my channel, so I wanted to show a little bit of my last outpatient consultation. So I did do some redactions for, personal safety reasons. Make sure you guys can see that. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on with me. I really went back and forth if I wanted to show any sort of documentation, because I didn't want to feel forced, but I also want to be totally transparent with you guys. So here it is. Here's me. And if you guys have questions, I am here to answer them.
She tried to show her diagnosis, though, on a piece of paper. Even though there were spelling mistakes, the place that she allegedly got her diagnosis from, she used the wrong logo. She used their old logo, not their new one. Again, a bunch of mistakes as she tries to double down. And despite all of that, my guy comes back again, trying to defend her once again.
Congratulations, you've successfully bullied someone off of a video app on the internet. You have made the world no better, and no one's lives have been enriched by what you've done. And to all you kids that are still bored enough with your lives to come bother me in the comments of my videos, I'm still supporting Emerald. Their pronouns are they, them. Misgendering comments will be immediately deleted. And get a hobby, for real.
I don't think I've seen someone in such denial in my whole entire life than this man right here, saying that we need to go and get a hobby. Maybe Tics and Roses should have thought of a different hobby herself before creating this TikTok. If people do mess up on the internet, absolutely call them out. Now I want to talk about just 2 other videos that she posted, and then I want to talk about some of the people that then actually came forward after the whole situation, talking about their experience, which actually is completely after the fact of all of this happening, and talking about how now it's hard to live with something like Tourette's, when honestly it never really used to be, in terms of people calling them out for being maybe faking. But before I do, Tics and Roses made this TikTok video as she talks about her pronouns and completely just not even acknowledging what has been happening. And you got to remember, this thing blew up massively. Now, I'm kind of amazed that I have never really talked about this on my channel. I felt a little bit overwhelmed. There was just so much going on at once. So much information on this fucking gal. And yet, despite all of that, she has the nerve to carry on uploading and just, not even acknowledge the fact that she's been faking. And obviously, guys, once again, has no tics in this video.
Hello and happy Pride to all of our pagans and witches that are in the community. I wanted to talk a little bit about the terminology used, seeing as I myself am non-binary. While I was trained as a priestess in my tradition, I currently use the term priestess as my title. It is something that I am more comfortable with, but when I am behind the altar during ritual, I tend to do the priestess tasks, and my counterpart, who is a priest, does the priest task. But I still choose to use the term priestess because that is what I am comfortable with, and it has really helped me feel comfortable in my own skin and still being able to do magic.
Now, someone saw the fact that she didn't tick once in that video, obviously, because let's be real for a second, she didn't, because she's been called out so badly that what is the point at this point of even trying to carry on with this persona? There literally is just no point whatsoever. And this comment basically saying, so happy you got through your tics, which, look, this is actually supposed to be a nice comment supporting her, which, can I just say, you don't get over your Tourette's or your tics or whatever, right? I don't wake up one morning and think, oh my god, I'm cured, finally, let's go, about time. Honestly, I was wondering when those annoying things were gonna just stop happening. No, you more than likely have it for life. Like I said, you can absolutely go periods of time without actually doing it, but to just straight up be cured. Oh my god, this is so stupid. And again, it's just another reminder of spreading misinformation on certain things. Now, this is what Tics and Roses had to say about the whole situation. She was rather sad. Not even doubled down at this point, I guess. Just straight up almost tripled down. So stupid.
I have not gotten through my tics. I just don't record on days that I have my tics because I was literally bullied off the internet. So I do not do awareness for Tourette's anymore, regardless of the fact that I do have a clinical diagnosis.
Well, I can't argue with that. A clinical diagnosis that she made up with a bunch of spelling mistakes and the wrong logo. totally legit. Now moving on to the last part, in which real people and how this has affected them. These are just some of the TikToks that I've found where people spoke out about this with their own experience now with having to deal with people, you know, yes, straight up fake claiming them.
Hello, I'm Bug. I have Tourette syndrome, and I just want to say big shout out, mad props. Thank you so much to Tics and Roses for making my life so much more difficult for reasons beyond my comprehension. Thank you so much for all that you've done.
I think at some points it's kind of easy to forget that this does actually affect very real people, and the consequences of just one person faking on the internet can actually have dire consequences for so many more people. Like I said, this story blew up massively, with some videos on the internet honestly hitting close to like 12 million views. You know, that's almost like worldwide coverage at that point. That's a big deal. With other people stating this as well.
PSA about faking Tourette's. Hi, I'm Carly. And I have Tourette syndrome. I am not a fraud. But because of those lovely few people out there who have fake Tourette's, on every single one of my videos, I get a bunch of freaking hate. And all I'm trying to do is raise awareness and break the stigma that surrounds this awfully misunderstood disorder. But on almost, I got rice. But on almost every one of my videos, I get a comment saying, fake, this doesn't seem real. Or the worst ones are, I don't know who to believe now that I've seen Tics and Roses. Thanks, Tics and Roses. Because of people like Tics and Roses, I'm fake claimed in numerous videos. And all I'm trying to do is raise awareness, as I said, break the stigma, and make people with Tourette's have a better quality of life, because we're just judged and ridiculed all the heckin' time. Not everyone online is faking Tourette's. I got rice. And that's just something you are gonna have to come to terms with. Stop commenting on every single Tourette's creator's video saying we're faking.
Adding something like this at the end, I guess just gives it the actual real consequences of these actions happening from just one girl that decided it would be a good idea to fake this for some clout on the internet, because that's all it really does come down to, is these people wanting attention on the internet. I suppose in some ways she kind of got that, but just not really the attention she was probably looking for. Like I said, never made this video before, never even really talked about Tics and Roses that much, but I do find this video as a whole is really important, especially with the two videos at the end. So if I could ask you guys to please share and like and leave a comment down below, all that stuff helps the algorithm, and hopefully we can stop other people in the future from trying to just make up stuff or fake things on the internet, because it does have real consequences. With that all being said, hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.